Let's talk about how fall 2024 has given us so many fragrances that I'm just like, whoa. However, the designers to me have reigned supreme, and we gotta talk about how there are 5, in my opinion, that have really just stood out of this whole bunch and slew of fragrance releases. So I have a top 5 video for you all. Let's get on into it. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. The Sam Maria here. Yes, we're doing the top 5 best fall 2024 releases designer edition because yes, the designers have been really coming with it. As always, lipstick of the day today, everyone. I was feeling very cool toned, which I've been feeling that way a lot, but more so plummy cool toned and plummy teal. And this is from MAC, and this is MAC Spirit lipstick. Y'all know I love my mauve plum situation. As always, all the beauty details, all the makeup on my face and things, as well as all the fragrances I discussed today will be in the description box below, so you do not have to ask questions about it. It's all linked, tagged, you know, it's all down there. Next up, we have fragrance of the day, and I'm excited because this is a fall 2024 release. I haven't had it for a week yet, so that is why it cannot make this list, because I just got it. And this is the new Prada Paradox Virtual Flower, you all. I briefly talked about this one before, but of course now I have a bottle of it thanks to Prada Beauty sending this over to me, so I can really play in this one and form my thoughts on it. So yes, expect a full dedicated review on this one because it is interesting. It is. It has its own personality in comparison to its sisters. I'll say that for now. But all in all, she's fruity, floral, and fresh. That is what I'm getting from her. And I'm like, interesting. I'm okay with this even for the fall time, because normally something like this would be more of a springtime release. So those are my initial impressions on this fragrance because it's my first time wearing it. But yes, Prada Paradox Virtual Flower is the fragrance of the day. So without further ado, let's get into this top 5 list that we have here. In the number 5 spot, this is one that I was really shocked that it left an impression on me. This is one that it hasn't gotten a whole lot of buzz here in the fragrance community, although some people have talked about it. I know I've talked about it here on the channel before as well. But the number 5 spot goes to the house of Hermes, yes, and their new Barinia fragrance that came out. This is a scent, the reason I give this scent the number 5 spot is that this is not a conventional fragrance. This one is truly unique, and this is one either you're gonna love it or you hate it. So for me, anytime a fragrance house, particularly a designer fragrance house, decides to take a risk with a scent that isn't super mass appealing, it's not super traditional girly, all these are feminine releases, and be very clear about that. This is not a feminine fragrance that matches today's type of feminine fragrances that are coming out across the board. This is more of a vintage style of release, and for that reason it stands out, and that's why it makes my number 5 spot. It has very simple notes, by the way. The top note is miracle berry and bergamot, then in the middle there's white ginger lily, and then the base, y'all, that's patchouli, akagaya wood, and oak. So super simple. This is supposed to be a chypre fragrance, so I'm like, okay, we don't really get as many chypres released these days because that's more of a vintage style. To me, I think more 60s when I think chypres, when they was in their heyday, in my opinion. But this is a scent, you all, I smelled, and I told you all when I went on a shopping trip and everything, my mom was with me, and it really took my mom to help me appreciate this fragrance, which again, you know, generational difference, you know, our noses are different, you know, different things. As my mother was saying, she's like, no, this is one you're not going to smell everywhere. She said, this one takes me back to back in the day. And for that reason, she said, you stand out wearing this one. And I was like, you know what? You got a point. And it did get better to me as it dried down, because the opening of this scent, one thing about the name of Barinia is one of the Hermes leathers. So yes, this is a leather fragrance. Even though it's not explicitly stated that way, you just have to know that about them, or the sales associate has to tell you, like they told me. And yeah, it's a more greeny, gingery leather scent. As you can tell based on how I'm talking about it, this is not a safe blind buy at all. And that's why I say again, they took a risk with this one. This one is unique. I do not own a bottle of it right now. However, it is on my wish list to get for winter / going into 2025. So this one absolutely deserves the number 5 spot for me. Is one of the best fall 2024 releases that have come out this year. And that again is the Hermes Barinia fragrance. In the number 4 spot for its best releases, designer edition, this one is also kind of polarizing. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all are probably not going to agree with me on this, but again, this one, the fact that it's not mass appealing is what makes it stand out. So the number 4 spot to me goes to Burberry Goddess, the Intense version. Yes, you all know I recently did a dedicated review on this fragrance, so if you want to get a full breakdown about this scent and really get into it, check out that video. But Burberry Goddess, the Intense, there was a lot of hype around it when it was first coming out, when we first saw promo pictures. You all know Trend Mood on Instagram was posting about it, different things. All the fragrance blogs was talking about it. So it was one of those that had a lot of buzz. It was highly anticipated because, of course, the original version that came out last year in 2023 had so much hype and buzz around it. So we just knew Burberry was going to give it to us again, right? People smelled this one, myself included, was kind of like, Huh. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this one. This was one of those scents. This is one of those fragrances that it took a second, even a third, or in my case, a fourth try to finally get it. And then I was like, okay, now I understand this one. This is also a scent that had to be worn on skin. It also had to dry down in order to get it. But anywho, let's get into the notes, y'all. So we have top notes of lavender, and then in the middle we have vanilla absolute, bourbon vanilla, and vanilla caviar. Yes, 4 types of vanilla. Then in the base, you all, is patchouli. So this is a lavender, vanilla, and patchouli fragrance is what it is. The patchouli in any fragrance is going to make it last longer and make it have more of a denser base and richer. And you can definitely tell that patchouli is in here. However, on the skin, to me, the vanilla warms up. I mean, hello, there's 4 types of vanilla in here. You're going to smell vanilla at some point in this fragrance. And for me, it's the dry down. Because I will admit, the opening, you get more of that lavender and patchouli to me. Those are 2 strong notes that can stand on their own. So that's a whole lot coming at you at once. However, the vanilla is what helps to smooth this thing out for sure. This is one, it's dense, it's thicker, but it's also one you gotta wear for yourself. Kind of similar sort of to, in my opinion, like the Hermes situation. This one, either you're gonna get it or you're not. It's not necessarily mass appealing. I've told y'all, I don't get compliments when I wear it. This is one I wear for me. However, this is one, the fact that it was a challenge is what makes it stand out, in my opinion. So that is why I say this is the number 4 spot for us, the best releases out of the designer realm for fall 2024. And that again is the Burberry Goddess, the Intense version. In the number 3 spot, this is another one that I have smelled multiple times and I'm sold on it. And I told you all, this was actually a love at first sniff. I'm still shocked by that because I was not anticipating liking this scent. And this goes to YSL's Lieb Flowers and Flames. Because do I own a Lieb? Yes, you all know I own Lieb Le Parfum. I've done a dedicated review on it. Definitely check that out as well. I love that one. Y'all saw me reaching for it a lot, especially early fall, and it's still in my rotation. I'm here for it. However, I didn't feel like I needed another Lieb in my collection. I don't feel like I needed the original, the Intense, the Eau de Toilette, the silver bottle. I hated that one the most. I didn't feel like I needed anything, so that's why when I walked into the new one, the new Flowers and Flames, I was like, oh, okay, you're gonna leave, and here they go again. That's kind of how I felt about it, right? Y'all smell Flowers and Flames. I was like, oh wait, I love this. I love this. I do not have a bottle of it yet. However, it is on my wish list for fall going into 2025. Yes, next year. This right here is so good. This is smooth to me. This one is very well blended, in my opinion. It's one of the better blended ones. It has top notes of lavender and bergamot. Then in the middle, we have the orange blossom. And then we have lavender with coconut, lily, and palm tree leaf, and then we also have vanilla in this one. So in my opinion, how I wear my Lieb Le Parfum version, that is my fall winter fragrance. That's when I pull it out. To me, this is the perfect complementary scent for when I want a spring and summer scent because of that coconut in here and that palm tree leaf, and I smell it in this new Lieb Flowers and Flames. This one is nice, y'all, but it still packs a punch enough where it still will hold its own and last in the warmer weather months of the year. So this is one, that's why I haven't picked it up yet, because I was like, okay, I'm not gonna wear it right now because it's December when I'm filming this video. However, come say March, April, I'm gonna need her in my rotation because now we get into spring. So Lieb Flowers and Flames, yes, this was a fall release. However, it's one I don't necessarily want right now, but I respect it enough to say, no, this was really good. And it was unexpectedly good. I gotta give them that credit, especially when we're burnt out with a whole lot of flankers and things. This was a flanker that was worthwhile. So that again is the YSL Lieb Flowers and Flames fragrance. Okay, you all, now we get into the top 2. This was super hard. In fact, honestly, you could even change these 2, but either way, I had to make a decision because we believe in making a decision and sticking with it. The number 2 spot goes to this beauty right here. This is the Marc Jacobs Perfect, the Elixir version. You all knew when I told y'all about this fragrance in my sampling series video I did at the beginning of the season. I told y'all this one was fantastic and enough people were not talking about it. I'm happy to see that more people are talking about this new Elixir version because this is delicious. It's delicious. It's juicy. It's a plum fragrance, y'all. I love plum in the fall time. So it has notes, y'all. We have plum, we have honey, and rhubarb. And then we also have middle notes of amber and orange blossom. Then in the base, we have vanilla, resins, and patchouli. This right here, the honey in this, the plum, the resins in this fragrance. When I tell you, this is what I like to see from my designers. We're stepping it up here. This right here, this is a grown woman fruity scent. This isn't bubblegum, sugar, all that. No, honey, Plum, that's grown, because you don't get those notes every day, particularly out of designer world. So this is another one for that reason. It stood out. It didn't follow everybody else's trend. It isn't a pink juice, you know, all that. This smells totally different. And another thing, even though this is a flanker technically, this does not smell like the other perfects. It does not. This one stands on its own. In fact, it really shouldn't be a flanker, to be honest with you. It should be a standalone fragrance for their reason. But anyway, I digress. The plum and the honey in this, and the resins, and it also sticks to clothing and fabric very well. It sticks to skin well. I'll be doing this dedicated review sooner rather than later to talk more about it. But y'all, I told y'all this was a star here. This one is excellent. This one is in the #2 spot in my opinion. This is good. This is really good. And that again is the Marc Jacobs Perfect Elixir. And now for the #1 spot. I know y'all like, okay, wait a minute. What's #1 if you liked Marc Jacobs so much? #1, truthfully, this one became #1 because I gotta admit, I've been reaching for this one the most out of them all. I was the most pressed to get this one, and I've had this one the longest, so that tells me that clearly this is the one I felt was the best one. This right here is the Dolce & Gabbana Devotion Intense. This is the best release for fall 2024 out of the designer realm. They did this. And I say that especially because you all know I wasn't moved to buy the original. It was too limited for me. I was like, I'm not here for it. It was too sweet. I ain't like it. It was borderline juvenile to me. But it's intense though. This is another one I was not expecting to like, but again, I smell it so I can talk to you all about it and just give no well-rounded objective reviews. You know, I'm still gonna let y'all know if something good is not. This was good. And I told you, I was like, oh, no, this is worth it. And as y'all know, I don't buy 100 ml bottles often. That is insanely rare for me to do, especially for designer world, because designers, they release so many sizes that you don't have to unless you just want it. I bought 100 ml of it. So that also tells you what time it is. This is fantastic. So with Devotion Intense, you all, we have notes of hazelnut, we have orange blossom and vanilla. The notes are really simple, but for me, this fragrance needed the hazelnut. The hazelnut blends well to me with that vanilla in here, and it just smells scrumptious on skin. It's like you're like a walking cloud of deliciousness. I'm okay with it. Yes, it's a gourmand, but it still has a perfume aspect to it. It's not overly foody for me, and it's because of that hazelnut note, in my opinion. So I love this one. It makes it go well as a holiday scent too, more festive. I think about holiday candies and chocolates and stuff. So all in all, Devotion Intense, this is the #1 fragrance for me. This was the best fall 2024 release from designers. I said it. It is what it is. So all right, everyone, that wraps up this video. Let me know your opinions and thoughts on this ranking. Do you agree with my decision of what were the top 5 best designer releases for fall 2024? Do you agree with them? Do you hate some of the fragrances? Do you love them? Also, give me your top 5 that came out this fall. Do you love them? Do you hate them? Let's talk about it. Again, this is all about the designers, because to me, the designers have really been cranking it out lately, and they've actually held my attention more than the niche world, if I'm fully honest about that. They just have more going on for me, and I'm okay with it. So let me know what y'all think, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all.